And welcome back to Live in the Hall at the GMA Annual Convention. If you're following us on Twitter, it's hashtag GA Cities. We hope to see you there. We may even follow you back. I'm Amy Henderson with the Georgia Municipal Association and joined by Lou Comer, also of the GMA in the local government services realm. So Lou works with a lot of our partners who help cities to handle some of the services that they need. And one of the services is IT in a Box. And we're joined by Nathan Eisner of Sophisticity, who is our partner in that process. So tell us a little bit about what the IT in a Box does. I mean, is there somebody you pull out of the box and they do your computers for you?
Nothing like that. What we've done is we've put together a complete IT solution for cities, combining all of the basic services and products that cities generally need to run, an IT.
Okay.
And we
so
put
like
it all.
Email and.
Exactly. Yeah. Email, website, IT support, so on.
Yeah. One of the things that y'all do that I think is really helpful, and I know in my job at GMA I depend on it, is help desk support.
Mm-hmm.
The cities can call 24 hours a day or
7 days a week, yeah. And it's unique because a lot of times when you call IT support, people are used to calling other countries or something like that. With us, you call an Atlanta-based help desk. You have people with southern accents who answer the phone, and it's a live person. It's not just a recorded message or anything like that. So we're pretty unique in that regard.
Yeah, and I think that's from a customer service perspective. It seems like our cities really enjoy having someone they can call on, and it's not priced in a way where if you call that third time is going to cost you more money.
Absolutely.
You're paying one fee for a variety of services.
Exactly.
Call
yeah.
and get therapy and.
Hey, you'd be surprised how often that happens. So yeah, but you're right on. Cities have such a tight budget to work with that whenever you have to worry about getting charged every time you call, it's kind of a deterrent so that you don't want to call for help on something whenever you really need it.
Right.
And so we've taken that away by, call us as much as you want.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the website service. I know y'all have a content management platform, but you also help with a little design work. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so our website process is all-inclusive. So we design the website with the city, and once it's in place, we'll update it for them, manage it going forward. And some cities will like to update it themselves, which is what the content management system is. But in reality, most cities just don't have the time to do it. So they can send us updates and we'll do it for them.
So they send you the content and do it for them.
Yeah.
So it really is like having an IT department where a lot of cities cannot afford to have an IT department.
That's exactly the goal behind it is, we should be the department for them. And, that said, bigger cities that already have a department, we can work with them and just kind of fill in the holes.
Okay, so you kind of supplement what they may already have.
Exactly, yes.
And you're operating now not just in Georgia. I know it's based in Georgia, started in Georgia, but the good news has spread.
That's right. Yeah, we are now in Kentucky and Arkansas.
Okay, very good. But of course, Georgia is your still favorite.
Of course, always.
Yeah. And we have, 20 plus cities?
22 now, I think.
22 cities that are using this service, which is really a good number, we feel like. And we serve a certain segment. It's more of our medium-sized and even smaller cities. We've got some cities that have very small populations that use the service.
That's right. Our smallest is 286 people.
Okay.
And it goes all the way up to, I think,
That's
30.
almost a medium-sized city at that point.
There you go. Yeah. And I think it goes up to around 36,000 people. So, wide range that we can support.
Yeah. So.
And I think in the latest issue of Georgia Cities, there was an article about one of the cities that uses the service, Dawsonville, and the mayor had great things to say about how it has worked out for his city.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dawsonville's really our shining star for an example of how a city can use technology. They do such a great job of using it to communicate with the citizens, to manage the city, and to promote their city. So, if there was one city I could point to say, this is how you should do it, it'd be Dawsonville.
Yeah, and don't they also have improved a lot of their processes that, as a layperson, you don't really understand a lot of the behind-the-scenes IT.
Right.
But I think the mayor understood that they needed a little more support than they were getting and reached out on that.
Absolutely, yeah. And, it's a partnership between us and a city. So when a mayor like Mayor Grogan comes in and is willing to work with us and adapt their processes and improve things, that's all we can ask for.
Yeah, and we want well-run cities, so having some good IT infrastructure is very, very important.
Exactly.
And one of the things actually that I learned a couple of years ago, I went to Mississippi the year after Katrina hit and wiped out a lot of those coastal towns. And one of the mayors of a very small city said one of the things that they learned was that they really should have had their information backed up. City Hall was gone. Every bit of data that the city owned, all the historical paperwork, everything like that, all their data gone. And that is one of the services that y'all provide, is off-site storage, correct? Because that's so important. I don't think people think about it.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. It is included in the program, first of all, but also, cities don't think about those disaster scenarios sometimes, and you hate to think about it, but you got to account for things like fire, or tornado, or if Godzilla shows up. You never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's destroyed New York 3 or 4 times already.
Exactly, yeah. And so by having that off-site backup somewhere not down the street is critical to recovering whenever there is a disaster.
Yeah, and also someone to help bring that data back from that off-site
Exactly.
facility.
Get it back out of the mouth of the volcano.
Yeah, that could be
Right.
very important, I think.
Yeah, and whenever a disaster happens, the last thing most people are worried about is, what am I going to do about my computers and things like that? And us being able to help with that is, a huge advantage to cities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have some other tips that you would give to local governments in particular, things that maybe they don't think about that are some good practice tips?
Yeah, a lot of them are really more than just what to do with your computer, theoretical. Obviously, we talked about backups. You always want to make sure you've got backups both on-site and off-site. But one of the best tips I can give cities is to be involved and, don't just, if your IT guy tells you, hey, you're in good shape,
Right.
don't take his word for it. Ask questions, where's my data stored?
And maybe have more than one person being responsible.
Exactly.
Because you
Beware of
never know,
that
that guy
single point.
wins the lottery. He may not show up for work the next day.
Right, yeah, beware of that single point of failure.
Yeah.
We've seen that happen more often than, people would like to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's one for you. And, other tips, antivirus is always good in this day and age. You should never have a computer that's not covered with antivirus software. Be careful with email. If you get an email that you don't recognize the sender or it looks a little funky, don't take a chance and don't open it.
Yeah, and keeping your software updated and making sure you actually have legal copies of your software, very important as well.
Absolutely, yes.
And chances are I probably don't have a rich uncle I don't know about who died and left me a lot of money.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, man.
We can all hope,
Darn.
though.
We keep hoping. And my friends aren't actually kidnapped somewhere.
I want to highlight one more thing that Sophisticity does, which I think is a real benefit to many of our cities. They help them what we call vendor management. But really what it is helping you, like let's say you're paying support on your accounting package and it's not working properly. They're going to interface with the help desk people at that company to try to get your system back up and going or to get whatever glitch is causing something not to work. They're going to do that for you.
So you don't have to know how to speak the language because there is a very particular technical language that goes on there.
Exactly. And every city's got a story about sitting on the phone with technical support for hours and hours on end. And that just gets frustrating for cities. So we take that burden away from them. And, just like you said, we can speak the language.
So if you're hearing a story that may not be exactly true.
Right, exactly.
And you know how to describe the situation so that they understand it.
Exactly.
And they also, if you are looking to buy new equipment, whether it be your laptops or your desktop machines or some kind of a server, they're going to spec out what you need to buy.
Okay.
And then help you leverage the best pricing for it through state contracts or other contracts, and then you go and buy it yourself. Sophisticity isn't buying it and marking it up to you. You're buying it directly, but they've helped you determine what you need.
Well, that's great.
Exactly, yeah, and that's a huge value for cities because you can't expect that somebody who's not technical to understand what you need to buy, what kind of computer is good, that kind of thing. So having us involved, you can make sure you get the right thing at the right price. You're not getting gouged by someone who's got, trying to make a commission.
Right.
We're completely objective about it. And
So if a city's interested in getting help with their IT, doing the IT in a box where they can just open up the box, kind of like our delegate gifts here at convention, open up the box, pull the string off and pull the stuff out, how would they go about getting information about this?
they can reach out to us directly, or they can talk to Lou. Anyone at GMA should be able
Okay.
to
Very
direct
good.
them to us. And,
Awesome.
we'd love to help.
All right.
Great. Well, thank you guys
Thanks,
so
Nathan.
much. And
Thanks for having me.
We'll go back out to Aileen in the hall and see what she's got lined up for us.